we need to talk. Because right now, I'm going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful psychological tricks out there. One that's being used to influence your decisions probably every single day.
And yeah, what I'm about to show you, it's a little scary.
You see, there's this psychological trick, and it is so incredibly powerful
that people can literally use it to make you obey them.
And the craziest part, you won't even realize it's happening. In fact, I guarantee you've fallen for this probably a few times just this week. But stick with me, because once you see it, you will never be controlled in the same way again.
So to really get how this works, let's just do a little thought experiment. I want you to think back just over the last couple of days.
Have you ever found yourself agreeing to something you didn't really want to do? You know, maybe a friend ropes you into going out when you were just exhausted, or a boss kind of nudges you into taking on extra work. You feel that little push, and you just go with it.
Now, this is really important, so listen up. That is not a sign of weakness. It's not a character flaw. It's a sign that a very specific psychological technique was just used on you, a trick designed to completely bypass your natural resistance.
All right, it's time to name the culprit. We are breaking down one of the most effective, most subtle methods of persuasion in the book. It's called the illusion of choice.
So what is it? Well, the technique is brilliantly simple, which is what makes it so dangerous. Instead of forcing you to do something, the person gives you options. But here's the twist. Every single one of those options leads to the exact same outcome, the one they wanted from the start. Your brain gets to choose, so it feels like it's in control. But the real decision? Oh, that was made for you long before you even spoke.
Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Because once you spot the pattern, I promise you are going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere.
Okay, think about being at work. A boss using a direct order just says, "Finish this report now." Your immediate reaction? You might feel a little defensive, right? A bit resistant. But a smart boss, one using the illusion of choice, asks, "Hey, do you want to finish this report before lunch, or would the end of the day be better?" See what happened? Both choices mean you're doing the report. The only thing you're actually deciding is when. The task itself is no longer up for debate.
This happens constantly in sales. A regular question is, do you want to buy this? That gives you a very clear out, a yes or a no. But a skilled salesperson, they'll ask, so are you thinking the basic version or the premium one? Did you catch it? The option of not buying it at all just vanished from the conversation. The sale is just assumed. It's brilliant and it's sneaky.
And it even slips into our personal lives. You hear something like, "So, are you coming with me, or are you staying here?" On the surface, that sounds totally harmless, right? It's just a question. But what it does is it subtly frames the situation so your brain only focuses on those two outcomes. It makes it way less likely you'll think to propose a third option. It's not a real question. It's a guided choice.
So the big question is, why do we fall for this so easily? This is where the psychology gets really fascinating. It all boils down to one single, fundamental human need. Your brain, more than almost anything else, absolutely hates to feel like it's losing control. It craves autonomy. And that one simple fact, well, that's the key that unlocks this entire technique. Look, this slide shows the two mental paths perfectly. When someone gives you a direct order, your ego kicks in. It feels like a threat to your freedom, so your natural instinct is to push back, to resist. But the second you're given a choice, any choice at all, your brain just relaxes. It feels safe, it feels independent, it feels in control, even when you're being guided straight to where they want you to go. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. This technique is used everywhere. It's a core tool in marketing campaigns, in leadership and management, and yeah, even in our closest personal relationships. Some people use it to gently guide, sure, but a lot of people use it to control. And if you don't understand how it works, you become incredibly easy to manipulate.
Okay, so this is the most important part. How do you defend yourself? How do you fight back? Well, the good news is, once you know the trick, the defense is actually pretty simple.
Your defense is basically a three-step process. Step 1, you have to notice the pattern. Anytime someone presents you with a simple A or B question, just hit the pause button in your head. Step 2, ask yourself, wait a minute, is there a hidden third option here? Because almost always there is. And finally, step 3, identify and state that real choice. A lot of the time, that hidden option is simply saying no or neither, or proposing a completely different solution that actually works for you.
Now look, this knowledge can also be used for good, right? The goal doesn't have to be to force people. It can be to guide them toward a better outcome. Instead of demanding, you need to do this, you can ask, would you prefer to handle this now
or would later be better. It's a subtle but really powerful way to lead more effectively, more ethically.
So there you have it. Now you know the trick. You can see the architecture behind the illusion. And that leaves you with one final choice, probably the only one that really matters today. Will you start using this knowledge, or will you just continue to let others use it on you?